Big Mama Jen, she the heart of the city. Beautiful life shining cause her spirit run pretty. Touching every block, every youth, every man. Walking angel on duty with a God level plan. Jennifer, Jennifer, blessings flow where she stands. She lift up the world with the work of her hands.
DTLR Radio, your fashion, your lifestyle, your music. You're plugged in with Fadam Got the Juice live from the unruly Sprayground Studio as usual. Well, listen, it's a new year. We got new guests. We got new people to talk to about new things. Now this year, what is very interesting is we've built such a good platform that a lot of people want to talk to us about a lot of things. And guess what? I want to make sure I open that platform to be a little more diverse. You know, I love music to death. It is my number one love, okay? I love it over women and money and everything. It's just music, right? But this year I want to dive a little deeper this year. And y'all remember I ended the year last year talking to an author. This year I'm talking to another author, another person that has other great things going on. And we want to tap into that side. You know, it's big. Life is bigger than music sometimes. So right now I'm sitting with a CEO, boss lady who really needs no introduction. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. Now, I don't want to mispronounce your last name. First name is Jennifer. How do you pronounce his last name?
Gauthier.
Gauthier. Now, is that, what is that?
French Canadian.
French Canadian. Oh, that is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Now, where are you from?
I am originally from Connecticut, but now I live in Baltimore.
Ah, now how did you end up in Baltimore from Connecticut?
Ooh. So I actually ended up in Montgomery County first. Literally, I was going for my master's, had something in my spirit. Silver Spring, Maryland. I Googled it, didn't know it existed.
Wow.
Literally. And then I was in my last year of my master's, so then I ended up selling my house in like 3 days. My son got out of school on the 17th. We moved down here June 20th of 2005, and we've been here ever since.
Wow. What grade was your son in?
He was in the 5th grade. So, yeah, you know, we went through that drama. I was the worst mother in the world. Absolutely.
Now, I went through that moving from I moved around the 5th grade, moving from up north, coming to the south. I was pissed. It's actually how I got fat. I said, you know what? I'm protesting. So I sat in the house, ate cereal, played video games. I'm not going outside to know none of these people. Now, that's the story that I will tell. My mother had a totally different story of how I got fat, but that's just neither here nor there. What's been the biggest difference? Well, what was the biggest difference at the time between Connecticut and Silver Spring, Maryland?
So I had just graduated with my master's, and opportunity. First off, the diversity. There was every nationality you could possibly think of. My son came from a school system that was very similar to Baltimore, so he is biracial, but he was the whitest in the classroom. Now He went to a school where, you know, he's not the whitest, and now he doesn't know what to do. So we had to, like the first year, he went through a whole cultural shock. It was very interesting. Never thought about that. You know, I was just trying to provide him a better education, better life when we came down here. But the support, like people in Maryland, I would say even in the D.C. area, they will support complete strangers trying to be entrepreneurs. And that was the biggest difference from here, from up north.
I'm shocked that, first of all, I'm very familiar with Connecticut. My brother lives in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
He lives in Stratford.
Yep.
Yeah, He lives in Stratford, to be exact. He has a house up there, wife, all that good stuff. He ain't been up there that long. I hate taking that drive.
You and me both.
So, yeah, it's just... How did you end up skipping New York and coming down here, though? Like New York is right there. And if not, you can just live in Jersey. And you would fit in perfect in Jersey. So how do you say, you know what, I'm going to skip all that and go to Silver Spring, Maryland?
So when I was in high school, like our life was in New York. You would always go to New York to party. You would go to New York to go shopping and all of that. So for me, it was just too much go to live in the city. I like to be able to drive. I like to be able to get in my car and go, not so much the public transportation system. And so, again, honestly, it was just a spiritual thing. It was in my spirit. I Googled it, and here I am, 20 years later.
That was a big jump. That was a big move. That takes a lot of courage and strength to do something like that. Now,
I cried.
I bet
for
you did.
30 days. I sold my house.
Where was the rest of your family?
What the hell? They were in Connecticut. I don't have a large family.
Okay.
So my parents were in, one parent was in Connecticut, one was in North Carolina. My son's father and his family are in Connecticut. I cried for like 30 days.
How did he feel about this move?
So My son's father has lived that life, and he's been in and out of prison, his granddaddy, his great-granddaddy. And so I was blessed because he never gave me pushback on anything. He was just like, you know what, I know you're trying to offer my son a better life. Do what you want to do.
My man said, oh, I ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah, for real.
You ain't asking for no money? Bye.
No money.
Yep.
Yeah. You ain't even got to come to the sporting event. Just let me go.
He said, go be all you can be. Listen, I will follow on social media at some point in time. Man, this is pretty good. Okay, so now we end up here. And I suppose this worked out for your son. I'm sure he loves it now.
He does. He is now 31. He works for my company as well. So we're really just here trying to create a legacy for ourselves and for other people who are joining our team.
Now, talk to me about this team that we created. How do we create this nonprofit?
So I created it with the mission of I was a teen mom. I needed a parent mentor when I was growing up. I made a lot of poor choices on behalf of my son because I just didn't know no better.
1 second. What's the name of the nonprofit once again?
Lead for Life.
Lead for Life. Okay.
Made a lot of poor choices. Just like I said, didn't know no better. And then my son, as he was getting older, I could not teach my son how to be a man. I taught him how to pee standing up, but that was the extent of it. Like, I really believe no matter how dysfunctional a man is, he can still teach a value to a young man that women just cannot do. And so I started the nonprofit really with the goal of mentoring, and 17 years later it has grown not just into mentoring, but now we have returning citizens program, we have a mental health programs, we have a gun diversion program. So we have different programs throughout the state now.
How did you get into, I imagine there'd be a lot of research, or did someone teach you?
No. Again, I prayed. God told me to leave my job. I had $3,300 in the bank. My mortgage was $2,400. My son was in middle school at the time and told me to leave and start my nonprofit. So this was in July. August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, I was miserable, couldn't get up. Like, first time I didn't want to go to work, and I was just like, okay, I just need to be obedient to, what the universe is telling me to do. And so I went home. I told my son, I said, look, this is what God put in my spirit. We're probably going to be homeless again. Well, he was like, you know what? If God told you to do it, we'll be fine. We'll survive another homeless route. And
how
that
old
was
was he?
it. He was in middle school at the time. I think he was like 12. No, he wasn't 12. He was a little bit younger than 12, but he was in middle school.
Dang.
So, yeah.
That has to be a hard conversation to have with your child.
But, not with mine.
Okay.
He just always was down for my bullshit. Whatever I came to the table with, for whatever reason, he was just like, we're riding out together.
Little boys are definitely like that with their moms.
Yeah.
Like, hey, whatever dumb decision the mom wants to make, I have no choice but to love her and ride with her.
Yeah, and he's loved me even at the age of 31 when I'm still making poor decisions. He lets me know about them decisions, right? But he still loves me through it. He sits back, he watches, and he's my number one supporter. So
I love that. Now, how many people do we have a part of this team?
Right now, we have about 135 people as a part of the team.
Whoa!
Yeah, I have 120 mentors that do the work, working with youth that are either involved with the Department of Juvenile Services, that are working with child welfare. They do the hard work that is needed. So I'm blessed to have those people.
How do you find that many people? Like, I can't find 5 good people to work for me.
Yeah. That part, right?
Yeah.
I definitely fired a lot of people, released a lot of people.
Okay.
I got stories for days on that one.
I bet.
But I've been blessed. It's all word of mouth pretty much. So one person talks to the next person. But I think because we give opportunities. So I'm real big on people being their own CEOs, being their own entrepreneurs. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 people that look like me in my organization.
Wow.
Yes, the rest are all minorities, and the gift that they have given to the population that we serve. So even on the Eastern Shore, they don't look like me. but they all have lived experience. Almost every single one of my mentors and staff have lived experience. So that is the beauty, that is the gift, that is our legacy. And then I try to, wherever I can. So if they don't have their own LLC, I'm trying to help them build their own LLC so then they can be MBEs. And then now they can go after contracts for the state. They don't necessarily have to rely on my organization. You know, we change with the government. So anytime there's a change in government, nonprofits kind of have to shift with whatever changes are happening. And so, you know, I try to prepare people just to be able to go out and do their own thing.
I heard they cracked down a lot on some of the like the PRP program.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard, because everybody was just getting rich off them but not doing the actual work.
They weren't doing the work. And not only that, like, there's so much fraud.
Yeah.
In a lot of these nonprofits and a lot of, especially like those who are billing Medicaid and stuff, you know, you just got to sit back. We're doing the work. I don't play that stuff. I don't believe in getting an extra dollar because it's going to come back to me. So I rather pay my people well. I take pride when we're busy. Some of my folks are making 6 figures.
Wow, really?
Yeah, 6 figures with legit money. They're coming home after doing a bid, making some dirty money, and now they got more money in their pocket than they did when they were on the block.
That's fire.
And then now they have their LLC. Now they're learning. I try to give them learning opportunities and professional development opportunities. I have executive coaches on standby. So, like, if I'm having an issue with somebody, I'm going to give you time with my executive coach. I'm usually the one paying for it before I release you.
Oh, that's good. That's nice.
Yeah, so if you don't step up, like, it's your shit.
That's dope. Like, look, I'm gonna give you time to get yourself together.
Yeah.
And then, I'm gonna find you an executive coach and let them coach you and help you. That's good, because a lot of people just fire people off the rip.
But I also know who's not going to work out, because when the executive coach tells me, like, they're not doing their homework, then I know you're not investing in you. So there's no need for me to continue to invest in you at that point.
Makes sense. It's crazy. I just found out recently, within the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know how I was in like a PRP conversation. Because I was thinking about starting one at one point in time. I flirt with the idea a lot, and then I snap out of it. But as we were talking about to someone, I didn't know that that's a federal crime. If you fraud that like that, you get fed time for that.
Your name goes on a national list. So not only does your name, but like if your board is overseeing and your board missed that, all this fraud that was being committed, their name goes on you can't get any type of state funding.
True.
So it's really deep. So people are playing with their livelihood. Respectfully, they're playing with their clinician's livelihood, because they'll have a clinician say they're seeing 100 clients a month. We all know that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You can't really be seeing 100 clients a month. Not really. Right? But you're billing for that. Like, it's eventually going to catch up to you for $1. They might be paying their clinician way more than what they would. But now this clinician, once there's fraud involved, you're losing your license. Your name is going on this list. Like, there's a snowball effect that people really don't think. Yes, you can go and create another PRP and get it licensed again under somebody else's name. But again, if you don't have the ethics that are needed to be loyal and to be truthful, you're just going to keep doing the same thing. It's just going to be a cycle.
How do we get from, and it's backtracking just a little bit, how do we get from Silver Spring to Baltimore?
So, I know this is really crazy.
Yeah, how do we get from Silver Spring to Baltimore?
I wanted to be the mayor of Baltimore.
Wow, really?
And so I was just like, yo, these kids do not have to keep dying. Like, I don't even know where to start. I'm not political. And you all know, like, the reality of me ever becoming the mayor of Baltimore is slim to none, because I'm not from Baltimore, you know, even though I've been there for 10 years.
It's a little slim.
Yeah, listen, I still don't get any credit, right? I don't get any credit for any contribution I might give to Baltimore.
That's right. It's tough.
But I wanted to be the mayor. And so I kept saying it, and my son was like, I had to get rid of my house for my business, because it was either my payroll or my house, because I bought in the prime in 2008. And so when everything balanced back out, I was in a negative. So it didn't matter that my mortgage was paid on time and everything. I was in a negative. And so I had to make a decision. Like, it's either going to be my house or my payroll and my business. So I said, I'm I could buy another house, so I decided that. And then that's when I decided, after my son graduated high school, I came up to Baltimore. And I love it. I love the community. It's block by block. My block is phenomenal. People question where I live all the time. They're like, "You're a CEO. Well, like, why are you living here?" I'm good here.
They thought you was a cop.
No, they didn't think I was a cop.
Okay.
So I don't know. Somebody said something, and it's word of mouth over there. But they knew I wasn't a cop. But they also knew like I would help people. So now all of a sudden I got the aunties and the moms coming knocking at my door like, "My son's getting ready to come out. What can you do? My nephew's getting ready to come home. Can you help them?" And so that's probably how I built my reputation on my block.
That's good. It's crazy because people usually mind their business on their block.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't live in the city though. I don't frequent. I mean, I won't say I don't frequent. I am in the city every day actually, but I don't know. When I was even in the city, I didn't know the people that was on the block. Like, kind of like, I'm gonna leave y'all alone.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm here.
You say hello and you keep it moving, and nobody bothers you. If you're not mixed up in their mix-up,
don't be mixed up with their mix-up.
Yeah, people don't really bother you.
In Baltimore, we got a lot of mix-up. We got a whole lot of mix-up. So let's get to this book.
Yes.
So for someone discovering you today, how would you describe Through Her Eyes in one sentence?
The courage to live her dream.
That's a good one. Who did you write this book for?
I wrote it for men and women who are trying to heal. So I think we live in a culture and a society where we think healing is just through therapy.
We do.
You got to go to therapy in order to heal.
I'm in therapy now. That is crazy.
Which is cool, right? But then you outgrow therapy. But you still haven't healed all parts of you. So when you outgrow that therapy, what are other things that you could do so you could keep healing? So there's all types of work. I have a life coach that I use. I also have an intuitive coach. So she's more of like looking into your spirit, looking into like what is blocking you, what body parts are impacted by like your stress or when you revisit certain trauma and things like that. And then how could these other things, like people might go to the mosque, people might hug a tree. Those things are really important. If a tree heals you, if that tree is talking to you about the incest that you survived, about the domestic violence that you survived, keep hugging the damn tree. Like, who cares what anybody else is thinking and who cares what their model of healing is? But you healing is you. You might have to cut everybody out of your life for 6 months to really heal. You might have to cry every night. I've been blessed because I do have a daughter who's not my biological, but she came to me through this program. And so both of my kids have been able to see me through my healing journey. I had to go all the way to Morocco to figure out I was burnt out. Like no one around me could even think that I was burnt out. But I had to go to a whole nother country to just say, hey, I'm burnt out and what do I need to do? And so I really just want men and women to know, like, there's other ways to heal. There's other ways to be able to connect with yourself. And it doesn't have to be through therapy. It can be, but
that's not the only way.
Yeah. And you get to choose the way you want to heal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Being a tree hugger is wild.
Be a tree hugger? Yeah, it's not really my style, but, I won't go outside barefoot in the grass if I need to.
I know people that smoke a tree, but they go out here, kind of
right?
crazy.
Well, the smoking the tree doesn't work for me because I'm going to go ahead and just eat and take a nap and then call it a day, right? So no extras really happening. But
what was the moment in your life that made you say, like, my story could help someone? Like, it could save someone's life?
I've had probably about 15,000 people come through the organization since its existence. I've had young ladies who their fathers started raping them at the age of 4. Yeah. And the mothers allowed it.
Oh, no.
Didn't stop it.
Oof.
I've had young ladies who they were in high school and they were made to still have sex with their fathers. They were undocumented, so no matter what you did, we couldn't protect those folks. Had young men whose mom's boyfriends were touching them. And so that is the impact that I have had in the journey. And when I get to see them, they might call me, they might hit me up on social media. One of my young ladies, Can I tell a story real quick?
Knock yourself out.
One of my young ladies, I was doing a group in Montgomery County for the Department of Juvenile Services. She had been referred to me 3 times, wasn't coming. I brought a cake for her, even though she had never showed up. She comes the next week, and I'm like, yo, like, we had a cake for you last week. She was like, no, y'all didn't. So, the other girls are like, no, we had a cake for you, And she was like, well, I don't know, doing all this extra. And I was like, cool. I said, well, do me a favor. I said, go out there and ask your friends about Miss Jen. If they give me any credibility, then you got to come back next week. So literally she calls me like 30 minutes after group, and she was like, Miss Jen. Yeah, okay, some people might know you. I was like, okay, so I see you next week. So she was like, yeah, but her story was so impactful. She was a product of rape. And her mother would throw that in her face every time they got into a beef. And now this young lady has a trucking company, and she's traveling the nation doing, with her CDL. She's tinier than I am.
Wow.
Just handling her business. So, those are the things that make me think, how can we help other people? What is the impact of our lives with other people? And honestly, all I could do was love on her. I really didn't have, and because she wasn't ready for it, right? I was there to give her a hug. I was there to check up on her. I answered my phone every time she called.
That's deep. Dang. Those stories are tough. Those stories are really, really tough to hear sometimes. Like, just to know some people are really going through that kind of trial in this day and age. It's kind of like, it's unreal. By the time someone gets to the last chapter of your book and they feel lost and overwhelmed, what are you hoping they take from it?
I wanted to kind of end the book a little bit with them being their own CEOs, right? So my last chapter of the book is me just giving people tips. I'm not an attorney, so I have a disclaimer in there, but just what it is to really run a business. Because we think like, oh, we get to make these wonderful products or create a product. And no, like, you're dealing with human beings that want to cuss you out, that want to sue you every 2 minutes because they don't like what you said to them, or they think that, they know their contract better than the contract that you gave them. They don't want to live up to their parts of the contract. So now all of a sudden, they're reporting you to all these places, trying to take all your licenses away, get your business shut down because they didn't take accountability for a part. So the ending of the book is really just a little bit about people who are trying to explore being an entrepreneur, but it's really to encourage them because there's nothing like waking up and living your dream.
Nothing like it at all. Oh my goodness. I get to live part of my dream every day, and it feels good. One day I'll be able to live my full dream. But until then, look, we're just still working. What chapter of your life do you think readers will see themselves in the most?
Oh, I have so many. I think a little bit in each, because I'm that girl that was in elementary school who was off the chain, and the teachers didn't want them, her in their classroom.
Oh, wow.
The principal was tired of seeing her.
Wow.
So I think a little bit, but my courage to go back and do some like really deep healing work. There's quite a few stories in there around like me just healing from the sexual abuse trauma that I had to deal with. I think men and women can learn from that, but I didn't heal your traditional way through a therapist. I had to figure out other ways. I had to talk to my higher power. I had to, sit still with myself to figure those things out, because our trauma creates behaviors, and then those behaviors become a part of us. And then that's when we have to realize, wait a minute, this behavior comes from this piece. This behavior comes from that piece. You can't mend it all together at one time.
You absolutely can't. What makes your memoir different than others that are out now or that have been out?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be cute and I'm myself. So there might be some misspelled words in my book, even though, it was edited. I got some cursing in there.
Okay.
But I'm Jen. Like, either way, I'm Jen. My journey is Jen. Some people might not agree with some of the life choices that I made, but I made it because that's what I had to make. So I think just me being bold with some of them, I'm hoping that some people will have the courage from what I shared to be able to say, I've been living in bondage to this thing. When I'm human and I made a decision that I might not have made today.
Makes sense. That's tough. What lesson in this book do you wish like someone takes from it that you wish you learned earlier?
Yeah, my communication. So I was raised with an alcoholic father.
Oh, wow.
Codependent mom. Man. So my father could not really speak English. So, like, you want to talk about dysfunctional communication?
No. Wow.
So he didn't learn until, he started learning when I was 20 to really be able to speak English. He didn't learn how to read till he was 62. So, when
it's never too late.
Never too late.
It's never
right?
too late.
The most beautiful thing was like when he would call me to sound out words. He learned off a children's book. And now he's calling me, he calls me Jeannie, and he's like, Jeannie, could you tell me how to sound this word out? And I would just like get tears in my eyes. Like, that has to be tough. He was like my hero. He decided to change his life.
That has to be tough.
Yeah. And so I forgot the question that we were answering about.
It was just like, how do you help this change someone's trajectory? Like, what part of the book where it's something that you learned that you want someone to learn earlier?
I think so the communication piece was that I've sat in many rooms with very powerful people, and my message was correct. You're bullshitting with this data. Your data and my data aren't matching, and we use the same system, right? I lost a lot of funding because of my mouth. And so I could have said the same thing, but I could have said it differently. And so I did have a gentleman one time, he was black. He called me after the meeting, and he was just like, I just need to tell you, when you sit in a room full of white men, they can't hear the way you speak. And I was like, damn. And from there, I didn't know where I was going to start, but I just started trying to change the way I communicate. Some days are still a little rough, but
I get it. I know I have that issue as well, big time, because I'm really direct. Mm-hmm. I'm really straightforward, and sometimes they feel like I come off a little too harsh. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter what table I'm at, I'm me. And right now they're working on just trying to get me. You got to be a little more corporate. You got to be just like, y'all are killing me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, y'all want real people helping make these decisions, but then when real people at the table, it's like, no, it's like you too real.
Yeah. But I think with the communication piece that it has helped me is to make sure that I'm hearing what somebody says and that they can hear what I'm saying. So now I have the courage to say, you know what? I don't trust you in this space. Can you help me work through it? Instead of saying, mother effer, I know, and doing all that extra. Now I can just say, I don't trust this space. Even with my employees, I'm not trusting the space we're in right now. So this is what I need from you right now. And then I can then ask, what is it that you need from me? So I will say I can still be very straightforward, very direct, but my level is I get a better response and I can actually work better. And then people listen to me a little bit more now.
Okay.
Than they did before.
Sounds good. Makes sense. How does Through Her Eyes and Lead for Life connect? Like, for the
we're
mission?
Working with these people every day that have been through the same things that I have, the same things that my mentors have and my employees have. There's no difference. Maybe the way that we've dealt with it or the way we've, might have healed or kind of moved on with it is different, but they're the same issues.
If a young woman, community advocate, or a young leader, any young person is reading it, why should they read this book?
I think sometimes we need to get juiced up again. We need a little motivation.
We do.
And we forget, like, I really did go through all this stuff. And I forgot all the parts of me that I've really already worked on, and now I can be a better human being because of that. Like, we forget. We're still hard on ourselves. We're like, I wanted to, make, $500,000 by this time, and I wanted my clothing line to be here, and it's not here, because you get those hurdles. But those are real life hurdles. And, like, instead of being hard on ourselves, it just allows us an opportunity to give ourselves grace, and I hope that's what they get.
Internally and externally, at the end of the book, what you want them to take from it?
Number one, if they ever dreamed of owning any type of company or business, that they have the courage to, I give resources in here for somebody to help you start your business for free.
Oh, wow.
And so I hope that they just take the courage to do it. And then the other part is to mend one relationship, to be able to go back and say, I'm sorry. To that one person who still lingers, that if you just are able to take accountability, that was your homegirl and you love her to death and you miss the shit out of her. If you just call and take your piece of what happened in that relationship, it can mend it.
Oh, okay. It sounds a little toxic a little bit.
It might be toxic, but you know.
You know, what if I did that? What if I did that with an ex-girlfriend? Like, I go back.
Well, do you have a girlfriend now?
Nope. She's an
okay.
ex.
Well, then, okay.
She's an ex.
Well, I was going to say, if you have a current girlfriend, you might not want to call that ex either.
No, they're all exes. You know, that's, I can't say it on here right now because they might watch it. But but it's the favorite ex.
Yeah.
So it's the favorite ex. But I've done everything I could on that side of it.
You know what? I kind of reference it in the book. My son's father and I see what happened. We were young, very differently. But still a part of me needed to apologize to him because I think I fucked with his dignity. I was young. I didn't know. Right? So
y'all owe me an apology. All of y'all.
I'm sorry.
All of y'all. Yep. I'm looking. All of y'all owe me an apology. And y'all know who y'all are. Go ahead.
So, right, I really, I touched that part that it could have had an impact the way he was dealing with all the other women in his life because we were young. And he already had his own set of trauma. So I think I owed that to him because that was my part. I didn't know no better. But when I learned and it made me think, I definitely took the time to just apologize. And I also thanked him for letting me raise my son. He didn't fight me on stuff. He was just like, do what you got to do, you know.
That's fire. That's fire. Do they have a good relationship now?
So they have a working relationship. You know, he has 9 children. My son was the first. My son's father.
Holy. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yes, he is.
My man was slinging that thing. Okay, Connecticut got it. Sheesh. 9?
They get it honestly. Man. Like my son's granddaddy is no different. Right?
Oh, man.
But, you know, the beauty of it is that they are working it out the way that they want to. So if my son decides he wants him to be his dad or his friend or his homeboy, that's what he gets to choose. But I did my part to make sure, like, him and his wife, they come. I always allow them and ask them to stay in my home because he is who he is today because of her.
Who, your baby father?
Yes, and his wife.
You allowed your child's father and his wife to come stay in your home?
I prefer it. If I don't have other people in my house, like if we're having an event or so, I prefer them to stay there.
Like sleep overnight? Like
sleep overnight. If I'm not there, they get to...
That's different.
Because she's a powerful woman. She loves this man.
Man. And
all his kids.
And she can find a hotel.
She can find a hotel.
So
she got the money for a hotel.
Yeah, that is very nice. You are a different type of person.
Because I've done my healing work.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So, like, when I needed to talk to my son's father about some stuff, I asked her. Because guess what? I'm going to be in a space by myself with him.
Oh, got you.
You know what I'm saying? She got to be okay with that.
She has to be okay.
You know, and so, like, those things are important to me. Like, I didn't want to, but I also know, again, like, that unfortunately we're in a culture where we tear each other down too much. But for me, again, he's not the man he is today without her.
That's fine.
And so, she's a valuable role in my son's life, too. So, you know, he was in high school when we met her. So, you know, he was already pretty much grown, but it doesn't mean that I can't value that. So
you're a great woman.
And we're grandparents, so like I still got to be a grandparent with my son's father.
That's true. I don't. Man, I hope I heal to that point.
Yeah.
I hate because I swear if any of them ever walk through the doors of my crib, I wish you would. I better not see you post your new person. I don't. Nah, I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing all that. I don't want to see it, but I ain't got no choice sometimes. What's life like outside of all of this for you? Like outside of the book, outside of the nonprofit, what is life?
I'm a grandma of 3. My son has twin boys and then a 9-year-old daughter. The boys are 2. I love being a grandma. I ain't got to worry about if I'm fucking them up. Like, that's his father and mother going to get the blame for that stuff. Right. I just get to love on them and do that stuff. And I still like to go out dancing. I love to eat. I love to travel the world. So I keep myself busy with those things.
Who's had the best food?
Good question. Who has had the best food? The food in Thailand was really good.
Thailand.
But Thailand was good. It was just really fresh.
Gotcha.
Everything was fresh. Australia too, though. Australia is more like on the juice and fruit, and their stuff is really, really good.
Top 3 places to go eat in Baltimore.
Okay, Tabar is definitely my go-to on Park Avenue for Ethiopian food.
Okay.
Lebanese Taverna, even though it's a chain,
banging.
Is just my ultimate favorite. I just love Middle Eastern food. And then my third is, I don't know the name of it. I just found this little place on the east side. It serves Dominican food. I think it's Anna's.
Okay.
But
I'm not an East Side person, so I couldn't tell you.
I'm not either, but I will go very far for Puerto Rican or Dominican food.
I can dig it. Well, listen, I thank you for coming by. The book is out everywhere. February 3rd.
And it's pre-order now on Barnes & Nobles and Amazon.
Pre-order the book now, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. Do we have an audio version available?
Yeah, actually, it'll be out in a few weeks.
Okay, so the audio version of it, I love that ride. I'm in my car a lot.
Me too.
I'm in my car a lot, and typically I'm on the phone, and sometimes I just need to get off the phone and just hear. So I'm usually listening to a podcast or audio book.
Yeah, I love audiobooks.
Yeah, it makes my life way easier.
Yeah.
Way, way easier. And where can they follow you to keep up with you?
Jen Gauthier on TikTok and Instagram. And then, of course, Lead for Life on Instagram. And I don't know, do we have a TikTok?
Lead for Life better have a TikTok. Well,
I'm clearly not a social media person
okay, cool.
at all.
All right. Listen, it's nothing.
I need to pay somebody to do it for me.
There we go. Listen, are you hiring? We got people that need jobs.
Yes,
are you hiring?
we are hiring for mentors.
You're always hiring?
I can pretty much say we have some rotation spaces. We are hiring for PRP and we are hiring for mentoring.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And shout out to my guy Cabana. I don't know what you know him as, but you know that's my guy. Good guy. As always, listen. As always, you know, Fadam got the juice. Stay plugged in. It's gonna be a wonderful 2026. And I told y'all we opening up and we talking to a lot more people. It's not just music artists anymore. We gotta grow. We gotta grow. And a lot of people got a lot of great stories. And this one was a great one because I always wanted to know how deep these PRP programs and everything goes. And hearing your story and hearing, you know, what you went through and just building your program, it makes sense. And it's like, oh, that's pretty dope.
Thank you.
I always I swear, so we have a big community outreach department in this company, and I always tell Tremaine that we just need to start our own PRP.
You do.
Yeah, I always tell them we need to just start our own, because every year we're looking to partner with somebody for a Christmas event, and it's just like, let's just start our own.
And you guys can just I can help you guys if you want, but you guys can focus on kids. Like, right? That could be your niche because you guys have so much. You have investments that you can give to these kids and you have the resources. And so even if you just start with kids, you will make a huge impact. We
got to work on that. That's on a bucket list. 26. Let's see if we can get that going, all right? But thank you for being here, Fadam Got the Juice. Y'all know the vibe. Let's keep it going.
Big Mama Jen, she the heart of the city. Beautiful life shining cause her spirit run pretty. Touching every block, every youth, every man. Walking angel on duty with a God level plan. Jennifer, blessings flow where she stands. She lift up the world with the work of her hand.